Today, we're gonna pull back the velvet rope and really deconstruct the modern VIP experience. And I'm not just talking about free drinks and a slightly better view. Nope, we're looking at a full-on blueprint for how these exclusive events are engineered to create real, lasting connections. So let's dive in. You've seen them, right? At festivals, concerts, big sporting events. You see those special wristbands, those private areas with the best sightlines, and you can't help but wonder, what really goes on in there? Is it just a great party for a select few, or is there something a lot more strategic happening behind the scenes? Well, the blueprint we're digging into today is built around this concept called the VIP Pergola experience, and the definition tells you everything you need to know. It's a replicable, intentional, and educational sponsorship activation. Now, two words there are absolutely crucial: intentional and educational. This proves it's not just a party. It's a carefully designed strategy meant to forge a powerful link between three key things: brands, bands, and philanthropy. To really get how this blueprint works, we're going to walk through it just like a guest would. We're going to follow the journey step by step because, believe me, every single moment from the second you arrive to that final encore is thought out. Nothing is left to chance. It's a completely intentional journey. And that journey, it starts the absolute second a guest shows up. Part one is all about creating what they call a curated arrival. The goal is to immediately signal that this is something different, something special, and to set a premium tone for the whole night. So, the experience kicks off instantly. No waiting in a huge line, there's a dedicated check-in just for you. You get your VIP lanyard, you get a clear agenda for the evening, but here's the game changer. A personal briefing from a staff member. This isn't just someone pointing you to the bar. They explain the why of the evening, making sure every single guest feels informed, feels valued, and is totally at ease from minute one.
And this isn't just about making you feel special, though it definitely does. There's a powerful strategy here. The whole point is to give guests the time and, the mental space to really grasp the event's purpose before the loud music starts. It's about consciously setting the stage for human connection, not just hitting play on the entertainment.
This focus on purpose flows right into the next phase of the experience. And honestly, this is the absolute heart of the whole strategy. Creating the time and space for real, meaningful connections before the main event even kicks off. It's brilliant, really. They split the evening into two totally distinct acts. The first act, before the band goes on, is all about dialogue, education, and connection. This is prime time for storytelling. Then, once the concert starts, the focus flips entirely to entertainment, experience, and pure enjoyment. By getting the why we're here stuff done first, everyone is free to just relax and completely soak in the show.
So what is that story they're telling in Act 1? Well, it gets boiled down into this simple but incredibly powerful formula. During the pre-show dinner, the hosts explain it just like this. You take philanthropy, you add entrepreneurship, and you combine it with sponsorship. And what does that create? It creates opportunity. That's the core message everyone absorbs.
And they don't leave the next step to chance. The call to action is crystal clear. They literally use this quote with sponsors and guests. It completely reframes the sponsor's booth. It's not some boring sales pitch. It's the epicenter of that opportunity they were just talking about. It creates this genuine urgency for people to go and engage.
Okay, so the presentations are done. The story's been told. Now it's time to move to the main viewing area. And guess what? Even the walkover is part of the story. They frame the whole transition with this amazing phrase, rooftop to rooftop, camera to camera. It becomes the guide for the entire photo and video strategy, making sure the whole night feels cinematic and premium.
So once that structured part of the evening is done, the whole dynamic just shifts. We're now entering the next phase, which is all about giving guests what this blueprint calls permission to explore. You can see right here how the night is perfectly paced. The main presentations wrap right as the music starts around 7:30, but the experience keeps unfolding. You've got planned moments like dessert and coffee service, an optional and very cool green room tour, and a final farewell toast. It perfectly blends that feeling of freedom with these little structured touch points. And that permission to explore? Yeah, it unlocks some pretty serious perks. This is not just one little roped-off section. It's a whole multi-zone experience. You've got the main pergola, an even more exclusive eagle's nest for the best view,
maybe even a peek inside the green room, and all of it is made easy with the help of a dedicated VIP concierge.
All right, the night's winding down, the final song has been played. How do you make sure that connection, that feeling, actually lasts? This brings us to the final and maybe most critical part of the blueprint: crafting a lasting impression through the details. The entire event staff operates on one single guiding principle, and it's so simple but so profound. Design the experience as if you are the guest. Just thinking about that, it changes everything. It means every little detail, from where a candle is placed to the flow of foot traffic, feels totally intentional and welcoming. Nothing is an accident.
And that intense attention to detail is woven into the branding itself. But again, we're not talking about a giant banner over the stage. It's way more subtle. It's in the custom tablecloths, the personalized name cards, even the napkins and cups that are colored to match the sponsor. These little touch points are constantly reinforcing the brand's presence, but in a way that feels completely natural and never, ever intrusive.
Which brings us to a final and I think fascinating question. This whole blueprint, as we've seen, is built on being intentional, calculated, and meticulously designed. So, does engineering an experience with this much thought actually make the connections you forge there more authentic? Because, it removes all the friction and sets the perfect stage, or does it make it less authentic? It's definitely something to think about the next time you see that velvet rope.